I guess all good things have to come to an end, but this has been one hell of a ride. This man has done it all. He's been at the top. He's literally raced with the best at the toughest race. 22 Dakars. Impressive. But more impressive though is the consistency of high performance, whereby you literally did not just compete, you managed to stay with the leaders for most of those years. Talk to me about that experience.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable 22 years. I can't believe the time has gone by that quickly. The Dakar is a race with extreme highs and also sometimes extreme lows. Unfortunately, this year was an extreme low for me, but I've had so many good years, so many good memories over the year. Obviously, the highlight must be 2009 when I won the race. And then, all the other podiums we had. I had another 7 podiums with a win. And I've been really fortunate that I've been with great teams. And in Toyota, I've been now for 14 years. It's been absolutely one of the highlights of my career. And to finish 21 consecutive races is just testament to all the teams that I've worked with, and all the mechanics, all the engineers, everybody in the background that make this possible, because this race is a bigger team effort than you think. And if somebody leaves a nut loose or something, that means that you can't finish the race. So I've been really fortunate and really, really proud of all the guys that I've worked with and the people I've met over the years. It's been really special, and like I say, the last one was a bit of a low, but there's so many highlights that I've just got to be really, really happy and really proud of all these years.
One of the things about the Dakar, it's about the mental battle that you're talking about and reflecting on. Also being able to see the wins even in those dark times, to sit and say, yes, it did not end the way I wanted it to end, but for 21 Dakars, you managed to stay out of trouble and still you are on the limit. There's a lot of good to look into that. But that said, talk to us about the skill factor versus the mental factor of a Dakar, because there's some quick drivers out there, but mentally, Dakars get lost. We've seen drivers break down, not because they don't have the speed, but mentally they're just gone.
Absolutely, like I said, now there's such an wave of emotions, of really great emotions and really, really bad emotions, that you go through the race, and you can experience that in one stage. I've done stages where it feels like I'll probably finish in 50th or 60th place or almost last. And I've just learned that the race has taught me to never ever give up. And if you just continue and you get to the end of the stage, you find out that you might have finished 5th or 6th, even though you had a bad day. A lot of the other guys had a bad day as well. So that just teaches you this mental aspect of never ever giving up. Just keep on going, keep on trying to get to the finish. The other guys might have a bad day as well. But yeah, the fluctuation of emotions that you go through is quite a lot, and yeah, like I said, some of them are really great and others are not so great. But the race itself, it's such an adventure, and the people you meet and the places you see. And I've been really fortunate to have done the race in Africa 5 times, in South America I think 11 times, and now in Saudi Arabia. And the countries you see along the way and the people you meet, it's just really, really special.
Let's talk about some of the drivers you competed against, your Peter Hansels, your Carlos Sainz, Alatia, great drivers. Just which ones for you stand out, both in character and in terms of competitiveness against the clock?
Look, I've been very fortunate. In the beginning years, I was very fortunate to have been in teams with guys like Colin McRae, Ari Vatanen, and then I was together with Carlos Sainz, with Nasser Al-Attiyah, like you mentioned. A lot of really, really great drivers, and I've always, these are guys when I grew up, I absolutely looked up to them, and I learned a lot from them. I was always there trying to listen to them, trying to see how they approach the race, and I really tried to learn from these guys. But I must say the most hard-working of all of them was probably Carlos Sainz, when I was with him. He's 62 years old at the moment, and he's still racing the Dakar. He's still got the same passion, there's still the same drive, which is incredible to see. But I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from Colin McRae back in the day, as well as Ari Vatanen, and Nasser is just a special guy. I still believe that he's one of the best guys out there. But yeah, like I say, really fortunate to have been in teams with these guys, and learned a lot from them.
Talk about the scenery. You've raced on 3 continents. You've seen, don't know how much of it you see at that speed, but still, let's talk about the memories. I mean, like, everyone always goes back to the one in Africa. That there was something special about it. But even though you won the last one in South America, for example, what makes those different Dakars special in those different places?
Yeah, I always say to people, they always ask me what keeps bringing you back to the Dakar. And I say it's the adventure, because everyone is different, and there's a different adventure and different stories and different things that happen in different Dakars. And that was the same with the continents. In Africa, you had these wide, vast, open spaces. It really felt like you were in the middle of nowhere. If you're in the middle of the Mauritanian desert, I mean, you couldn't see people as far as you can see, and you really felt exposed there and alone in the middle of the desert, especially if you have a breakdown or if you have a problem. And those races were really, really tough in Africa. Really beautiful scenery. But then we went to South America. We had challenges there of altitude. We crossed the Andes at altitudes of 5,500 meters. So that in itself was a challenge, with headaches, and there's not a lot of oxygen there. Also really, really stunning places that we saw, the people that we met there. We had more than 1 million people at the start of the race in Buenos Aires the first year, 5.5 million people following the race. So you had a tremendous atmosphere in South America, which made it unbelievably special. And then, of course, now we're in Saudi Arabia, a country that is absolutely beautiful. We never knew what Saudi Arabia was about, but I must say we were all very, very, very surprised when we got to race there. And it's an excellent country for the race. It lends itself perfectly to the Dakar. Really beautiful scenery, really friendly people. And yeah, we've had absolutely great races there over the years as well.
Giniel, the racing career is done, but I'm sure you'll be back in the sport in whatever form. The name doesn't matter, because the name will carry itself. For you, besides the personal memories, what would you like to share with people? Either we're looking to win, like a Henk, for example, and even Sawood, who've got the capabilities of winning a race like this, and even followers of something like a special sport like this.
Yeah, well, I think, Henk did a really, really great job this year, him and Brett. And the great thing to see is there's a lot of youngsters coming through now. I mean, I think the next generation in the Dakar has really arrived. They're all there, and that's great to see. It is one of the most difficult, in my mind, it's the most difficult difficult race in the world to try and win. And I think, the only thing that I can, tell these guys is to just, never give up and keep on trying. Things will, one day things will fall into place. In a race like the Dakar, you need a little bit of luck. Things need to go your way. But yeah, I mean, it's such a special race, and it will continue to be for the next couple of years.
So, looking forward to seeing you contributing positively to the sport. You've been a credit to the sport and to your family. Thank you for all the memories.
Thank you very much.